Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long ass time, but your girl is back and she's better. So much has happened. I don't even know where to start. If you guys are new to my channel, hello. My name is Chelsea, aka Chelseavbrady, and we just out here living life. This video is gonna be a little different than my usual, although my usual is not really usual because I'm not consistent. I don't have a usual. So you guys are like, what is the usual, Chelsea? I don't know anymore. I feel you guys. 100% I feel you guys. But this video is to explain why I've been MIA, why I left YouTube, why I left Korea, why. This is just gonna be like a summary of where I've been since 2016 to 17. If you are interested in this video, and I do want to say this video is for my OG subscribers. Like, I have about 3,000 plus subscribers right now. If you are one of those 3,000 plus subscribers, then you need to watch this video because I am talking to all of you who have been following me since I started uploading videos in Korea. I'm talking to you guys. You guys are my day one supporters. This video has given me so much anxiety. Like I've literally put it off for 4 years, but today I have the courage to talk to you and let you guys know what's up. Drink a little wine. Only time I really stepped out this week was to grab some Pinot, and that was today. So if you're drinking or if you're watching this, roll up a little J, grab a bottle of wine, grab some beer, whatever your thing is, and let's get started. These faux bangs keep going in my eyelashes. Like, I have really long eyelashes, but this shit ain't it. Cheers. Where do I even start? So, many of you guys know me from me posting videos in Korea. I am a Canadian, Jamaican Canadian. Okay, I was born and raised in Canada. And after my graduation, I decided to teach English in Korea. And while I was living in South Korea from end of 2015 to 2016, I actually started this YouTube channel my 4th year of university. I believe in early 2015. I was super depressed. Like, that was like my first conflict, I guess, with mental health. And I was so depressed. I was like searching for extreme remedies or extreme fulfillments. I just really found YouTube was helpful for me. So at that time when I started my channel, I think I posted a vlog of a night out when I was in my 4th year. And I was really like loving Latoya forever. And that was the time that she was popping. She was putting out all of her vlogs. And I just felt okay. I felt happy. I felt like all my problems were gone when I watched her videos, and YouTube helped me so much. I just decided right then and there, I'm tired of being depressed. I'm tired of being sad. And honestly, I've talked about like why I was depressed, why I was sad, why I started this channel in my earlier videos. So if you guys want to go look, you can. I also have a blog called chelseavbrady.com. If you want to go read some of my articles, I explain like why I moved to Korea and how I was feeling. I was just really like looking for extreme comfort, extreme like satisfaction. So I started this channel. I was literally shocked. I was shocked by how much you guys related, how helpful my videos were. I was literally like shocked. I did my year. I taught English in Korea. It was amazing. I shared my videos on YouTube. I came back to Toronto, so I am from Toronto, and I moved back in with my mother. And I started doing a few videos from my mom's house when I was there. And before you knew it, by like early 2017, mid 2017, I had like 3,000 subscribers. And I was like, literally guys, it made my year, it made my day, it made my whole entire being. I was like so shocked that 3,000 plus of you guys liked me. You guys related to me. I was giving you guys content that you found useful, and I was just like, you know, when you're so depressed and you're so used to being like sad and depressed that it is almost comfortable. Like, I was in that space where I was like comfortable in my depression, and I was comfortable with being sad. I was comfortable with like just getting by. And if you watched my earlier videos, read my blogs, I smoked a lot of weed. When I was in Korea, I didn't smoke weed, but now that I'm back in Canada and it's legalized, I smoke a lot of weed. I don't know, I just like needed something to make me feel good. And YouTube was literally the only thing to this day, me filming a video, uploading it, being impactful, giving good information, like that is what makes me happy. I've realized that there are two elements that I need for anything that I do creatively, and that is I express myself and I tell my truth, and two is that I make an impact. And as long as I make some type of social impact, or it be an impact on you personally, like I feel fulfilled. I feel genuinely happy. And I've realized, like, we'll get into it, but as long as you act with purpose, like you'll be good. I was happy to share my experiences as a Black girl, specifically a Black Canadian, living in South Korea was like a lot of information to give, so I was happy that you guys found it helpful. My contract ended Halloween 2016, and like I said, I absolutely loved Korea, and I had all intentions of staying in Korea longer, but I just didn't like my job. If you guys don't know, I worked at a hagwon. A hagwon is a private school in Korea. If you guys haven't watched my Why Hagwons Aren't That Bad video, I'll link it below, or just go on my channel and find it. You can watch that. It's a really insightful video. I recommend you check it out. A lot of people to this day, I got a message on Instagram last week from someone saying, hey, found you from that hagwon video, like asked me a bunch of questions, and I always answer, so make sure you watch that. I struggled a little bit at my hagwon. A hagwon is a private school. Like, teaching is not for me. I'm no longer teaching in 2020. And not to say I was a bad teacher, I actually took my job seriously, and like I said, I do everything with a purpose and I want to make an impact. So I definitely took my job seriously, and I put like effort into my curriculum, into my programs, into all the worksheets, like all the lessons that I did, because in a hagwon you have that flexibility to create your own lesson plans, to kind of do your own thing. But I was my very first Black teacher at my hagwon. They have never hired a Black teacher before. I was their very first Black employee. So I just felt like I had a lot to prove, and I had a lot of like strikes against me. And funny, we're talking about this now with all the craziness going on in the world with Black Lives Matter. I just feel like, honestly, they gave me a hard time because I was Black. They wanted me to go above and beyond the credentials, the expectations of my white counterparts. Long story short, I'm actually gonna do another video like this video if you want me to do a video on like why my Hagwon hated me, basically. And I just told myself, I love Korea, I love my life here, I love my growth, I want to stay, but I can't stay at this Hagwon that I'm teaching at. So I finished my whole year contract, which is great, and I just took it. I was like, you know what, let me just go home for a little bit and figure out what I want to do. But I knew like 95% I wanted to go back to Korea. So in my head, I knew I was going back home to Toronto, but I knew that I was gonna be back in Korea like very, very soon. Let's go to like November 2016 now. I left Korea mid-November, and then I went to Thailand, and that was amazing. My last video was a story time, or one of my previous videos was a story time on that one time in Thailand. So if you want to go check that out, go do so. Thailand was amazing. Then I went to Denmark. In Denmark, I went to solo, and that was absolutely amazing. Copenhagen is on my travel list again. I definitely have to go back. Yes, culture shock, moving to a new place is depressing, but going back home after living abroad for a long time is equally depressing, if not more, because I'm so used to this different lifestyle. And not only that, my biggest thing was being used to a certain level of freedom. Like, mind you, I had just finished university. I probably didn't say this, but I went to university away from home. It was like 2.5 hours away from my house, like from my hometown. So for the past 4 years of my life, I was living with roommates with my friends in another city on my own, not with my mom. I come from a single mom household. And then I moved to Korea for a whole year where I'm completely by myself, have complete freedom, being on the other side of the world, essentially. And I just like wasn't, I don't know, I was really happy to be home. I have an older sister, she's 4 years older than me. I think I did a video with her. I did a video with her somewhere, you can find it. It's my dog. I have a dog, Mitzi, who is 17 years old, and I've literally I picked her out in the 3rd or 4th grade. That is my daughter. I miss my dog. I missed a lot. So it was nice to be home, but at the same time, it was stressful. It was difficult transitioning back to home life because I haven't lived at home with my mom for the past 5 years. Long story short, I guess it was just her not used to living with me because we haven't lived together since I was in high school, other than the summers that I was home from school. I'm sorry guys, what was so frustrating was that my phone died for an hour, I swear. But we're back and I'm better, so hey. I'm sorry, I'm so off my A game, but I just smoked half a joint and something just fell behind my bed. But yeah, where was I? So 2016, I moved back to Ajax and I lived with my mom, and it was a little bit difficult for sure, but I still had full intention of going back to Korea. So I actually, I scored a position at another Hagwon in Dongtan. Dongtan is a city an hour, 45 minutes to an hour outside of Seoul. So I was meant to actually go back to Korea and live and work in Dongtan in March of 2018, but wait. March of 2017, but last minute I literally decided February, I decided not to go because my older sister got pregnant. Her and her husband got pregnant, and I was having a nephew, and I was also just kind of missing the diversity, like missing Black people, I'm not gonna lie. So I was okay with staying home. I was like, okay, my older sister's pregnant. I'm having it, like, I'm gonna be an aunt. She's having her first child. I should probably be home for that. So last minute, I contacted the school and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm deciding like not to no longer take the job offer. And I didn't end up going to downtown. So for 2017, I was living in Ajax at my mom's. And I got a full-time job at a call center for a major telephone company here in Canada called Rogers. And honestly, guys, it was like the best and worst thing. Not the best thing that happened to me, but like it was a good experience, but it was a horrible experience at the same time, because it was my first like big girl job being outside of it wasn't my first big girl job. What am I saying? Me teaching in Korea was my first like big girl job outside of retail. I was every person's bitch that wanted to bitch to a phone provider. Think about how many people call in to customer service for your typical phone provider. Like, it was honestly horrible. I hated that job. I was on the clock 24/7. They were measuring our breaks, measuring our bathroom breaks. It was just very bureaucratic and everything was too calculated. I worked there for 6 months, and it was like so interesting because I decided that I wanted to pursue modeling. Like, modeling has been something that has been on my mind like throughout university a little bit, and I've always wanted to pursue, but I never had the confidence to do so. So when I was in Korea, I seeked photographers and I did a couple of photo shoots, and I went to an agency. Long story short, they basically told me, you're not cut out to be a model in Korea, but you can do some music videos. I think I actually vlogged that weekend and that trip to the modeling agency that I went to. So if you go look back on my channel, one of my sole vlogs was me going to the agency. But long story short, they told me like, you're not good enough to be a model in Korea. So I kind of like lost that dream. And anyways, I was teaching full time, so I didn't have the time to anyway. But when I got back to Toronto in Canada, I was like, I really want to pursue modeling. Like, I really want to try. At this point, I'm 24, I believe. And that's already late to be a model. Like, if you're starting in the modeling industry, you should start when you're like 15, 16, 17, like definitely before you're 18. So me starting at 24, 23 was like really late in the game. So let me tell you, it was a struggle. It still is a struggle. What I do now, currently in the present day, 2020, I model and I act. So we'll get into that later on in this video. Oh my God, I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I found an agent, got scammed by my first agency/agent. Oh my God, such a story time. Part of the reason why I want to like do this video and explain where I am now is because I'm doing acting and modeling full time as my job now. I want to share my experience pursuing that career path, because just as helpful as I think my whole teaching experience on YouTube was, I believe my acting and my modeling experience can be valuable to people who are also in the similar field. And I just started this 2 years ago, and not to toot my own horn, but like I've had pretty good success in it so far. So it's definitely something that I think I can like pay it forward. But yeah. I definitely wanted to pursue that, so I decided to stay. I worked at Rogers for 6 months. Long story short, they did not allow me to go to any auditions that I had, so I got rid of that, and that was a horrible experience, so bureaucratic. And I decided, I was literally like, I'm not going to work for anyone full-time. I'm gonna only work for myself. Or like be an independent contractor, meaning like a freelancer. So I decided to do that full time in 2017. Like, I think I quit around Christmas. And at that same time, me and my mom, unfortunately, we don't get along, and we really butt heads. We didn't get along. Let's just say that. We did not get along. And I moved in with my sister, my older sister. So I think this was November of 2017. I moved in, like end of October or November, one of the two. I moved in with my sister, and I remember I lived with her for 3 months, like exactly. I was finding a place in Toronto, and this is my first time like finding my own place in the city of Toronto. I grew up in Ajax. I went to university in London, Ontario, which is like 2.5 hours away from Toronto. It was a super cheap university town. Toronto is a super expensive city. So it was my first time living on my own in a new, like in this like big city, having to like have high bills and having to spend a lot of money to live, basically. I found a place in Toronto with an acquaintance at the time. She was an acquaintance that actually turned into a friend. So her and I found a condominium in Toronto, and I moved into this condo January 1st, 2018. New Year's Day 2018, I moved into a new condo with my friend at this time. And I was super happy because me and my mom did not get along. I was living at my sister's house and sleeping on her couch for the past 3 months, and I'm telling you, that was not an ideal time of my life. Like, that was definitely a low point of my life. I was looking at places like every other day in the city and working at this job at Rogers at a call center, being everyone's bitch. I moved into this condo in Toronto and everything was good. I started doing modeling, I started bartending, I did bottle service, and I was like creating the life that I wanted to live. I wasn't working full-time for anyone. I was like doing bartending gigs. I was bartending at this local club and doing bottle service at like a bunch of different places. And I was doing random like brand ambassador jobs. If you guys know about that, the promotional modeling industry is really like popular here in Toronto, at least. So I started getting into that, and I was working different events, and I was like making random money like all the time. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start my YouTube again, because the only reason why I stopped, I was recording videos when I was at my mom's house, but once I left my mom's house and moved in with my sister, once my mom and I started fighting and not getting along, I stopped my channel, I stopped recording videos. That's where you guys saw me stop posting. I was just like really like depressed. I was really, yeah, that's the best word to describe it. Like, I was actually like super depressed. And it was like a really hard time, so I felt fake. And I was so anxious and had such high anxiety. Talking about it was like re-experiencing what I'm going through. And this video in itself is very like, depressing for me in a way, but it's also therapeutic because I'm talking through all my problems, and it takes me back to that sad and that hard time in my life that like I don't want to relive it, I don't want to re-experience it. But here I am, like in this video, talking about it, not only for your guys' sake but for my sake too, so it's definitely beneficial. But yeah, I just felt like I didn't want to come on video and be like this YouTuber that you guys like look up to and that you guys love, when I didn't even like love myself or love like my life, you know what I mean? So I had at that time like 3,000 of you guys subscribed to me, but I literally felt like fraudulent, I felt fake, it made me even more depressed, like thinking about coming on camera and being like, oh my god, I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, my life is so good. When I knew in reality that I was like hating my life, you know? And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. I want to say that's depression, although I wasn't like clinically diagnosed with depression, and I'm still not. I am smart enough and I know what the signs are, and I can definitely say like I was depressed. I'm still struggling with depression even to this day, and it doesn't make me like weak of a person. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to it. It makes me like real. Like, this is an emotion I'm sure so many of you guys can relate to, and you guys are probably seeking YouTube, seeking external resources to cope and to help you get through these difficult times in your life. And that's where I think the impact in my like storytelling and in my like messaging and content creation comes in. So where am I in this story? 2018. I'm living in my dream condo in Toronto with my friend at the time, loving life, but also hating life and not uploading on YouTube. I was living with my friend at the time. Long story short, me and her had a falling out, and after that falling out, which was not the fault of my own, it is super awkward for me to even live with her after that. And after that, she basically went out of her way to make my life a living hell, and I lived with a person who did not like me, but not only did not like me, did things in spite of, and did things like to hurt me. And I was just like, no. So probably that happened maybe like June, July, August of 2018. I don't remember. I moved out of that place New Year's Day 2019. So a couple months after that, I moved out. January 1st, 2019, I moved into a 1-bedroom with my boyfriend, who's still my current boyfriend. Absolutely love him. If you guys subscribe and keep watching my videos, I will for sure introduce you to him, and you guys will see him. I moved into a 1-bedroom condominium in Toronto with my boyfriend, and that is that 2018 actors vlog that you see. I took it, part of it was filmed there. And then yeah, I've been there for a year and a half. I focused on my modeling and acting, and I found a new agent. I auditioned all the time. My full-time job was modeling and acting, basically, not meaning I'm working as a model or actor full-time, but I'm auditioning full-time. So I'm going to auditions like literally all the time, and that was a full-time job in itself. And I also started my own business, so I no longer had a full-time job. I started my own business, which I'll do another video about, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about, is moving forward, what are the next steps on my channel. I want to share my modeling journey, my acting journey, my entrepreneurship journey, because those are all things that I'm going through right now and that I feel like are helpful to people. So right now, what I do for work in this present day, 2020, is I model and I act, and I also am a small business owner. I started my own agency called Social Plug Toronto, and that is a event staffing, marketing, and creative agency. Moving forward, basically, what I want to talk to you guys about is like the new content that I'm going to be uploading. As much as I want to like, oh wait, I completely forgot about an entire part of what I was going to talk about. let's go back. You know what? I'm gonna do a whole nother video on what I'm about to say. But long story short, in between all of that, I got arrested. And that definitely added to my depression and to my like anxiety and to everything. As you can imagine, getting arrested is a very stressful situation to be in. And that didn't make life easier for me. So I got arrested. If you guys want to know the story, my arrested story or how I got arrested, comment below. I'm actually okay with sharing that now. I got arrested in 2017, like a couple months after I got back from Korea. So now that it's like 3 years later, I'm comfortable talking about it. I lived in my condo for a year and like a half. And then beginning of March, so like 2.5 months ago, I moved here where I currently am, and now I'm in Vancouver. Both my boyfriend and I moved to Vancouver. That's in British Columbia. That's in a province literally across the country from Toronto, Ontario, where I am in Canada. We drove here. He drove his car. I drove my car. And I brought my dog with me. She's here. I'm telling you, it was a huge, huge, huge road trip. I'm gonna do another video on that in itself. I actually did post a video on my Instagram. If you guys want to follow me at chelseavbrady, go check it out there. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this shed light on where exactly I am now, the direction that this channel is heading. My future videos that I have, I'm now in a new house in Vancouver, so I'm gonna give you guys a house tour. I literally vlogged all of the houses that I checked out when I was looking for a place to live here in Vancouver. I vlogged my whole cross Canada road trip, my Toronto condominium tour. Like, I have so many videos planned for you guys, so if you guys are interested, definitely check out my channel, definitely subscribe to my channel. And I'm so happy that 3,000 of you guys find my life interesting and is finding value in this content. I'm super happy, and all I'm gonna do moving forward is giving you guys valuable content. So please be sure to subscribe. And so many of you guys have unsubscribed from me because I was uploading so much random shit. I'm sorry for those random ass uploads. I just didn't know what to do because I did not want to confront all of these emotions that I'm feeling right now making this video, to be honest. I didn't want to tell you guys what the fuck happened to me. I just wanted to like give you guys content that I thought you guys wanted to see. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.